Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel where I spin tales from the heart of Nigeria with a modern twist. Before we dive into this epic folk tale, hit that subscribe button if you love dramatic stories filled with emotion, envy and unexpected turns, and drop a comment below. Where are you watching from? Is it sunny Port Harcourt like me or somewhere across the globe? Let's make this community grow. Now, buckle up because this story is going to pull at your heartstrings. In the quiet outskirts of Port Harcourt, where the oil rigs hum like distant giants and the humid air carried the scent of rain-soaked earth, three sisters lived in a modest bungalow painted in faded yellow. The city wasn't the chaotic pulse of Lagos. No, Port Harcourt had its own rhythm, a blend of bustling markets and serene rivers that snaked through the mangroves. But our story begins not in the city center, but on a misty morning when the sun was just peeking over the horizon, casting long shadows on the dirt path leading to the Bonny River. Ada, the eldest at 25, was the practical one. With her sharp eyes and no-nonsense braid, she managed the family's small provision store, counting every naira like it was gold. Chika, 23, was the fiery middle sister, always scheming for a better life. Her laughter loud, but her heart often twisted with unspoken resentments. And then there was Nneka, the youngest at 21, whose beauty turned heads wherever she went. Her skin glowed like polished ebony, her smile lit up rooms, and her gentle nature made her the favorite in their tight-knit community. But beauty, as they say, can be a double-edged sword. On this fateful day, the sisters set out for the river, buckets balanced on their heads, to fetch water for the household. The path was familiar, lined with palm trees whispering secrets in the breeze. "Hurry up, Nneka," Ada snapped, her voice cutting through the morning calm. "We don't have all day. The store opens soon." Chika walked east beside her, glancing sideways at Nneka's effortless grace. "Yes, princess," Chika muttered under her breath, her envy bubbling like the river's undercurrents. As they approached the riverbank, the water sparkled under the rising sun, but something felt off. The birds were unusually silent, and a chill wind rustled the leaves. Nneka paused, her bucket dipping slightly. "Sisters, do you hear that? Like a warning in the wind." Ada rolled her eyes. "Always so dramatic. It's just the river." But Chika's mind raced. Why did Nneka get all the attention? The proposals from wealthy men, the compliments from neighbors, while she and Ada toiled in obscurity. In a flash of rage, as Nneka bent to fill her bucket, Ada and Chika exchanged a dark look. "Now," Chika whispered, with a shove that echoed like thunder in their souls. They pushed Nneka into the swirling waters. Her scream pierced the air, a heart-wrenching cry of betrayal. "Sisters, why?" The river swallowed her, bubbles rising as she fought the current. Ada and Chika stood frozen, their hands trembling as the water calmed, leaving only ripples of regret. But this was no ordinary river. Legends whispered of spirits that dwelled in its depths, guardians of the wronged. As the sisters turned to flee, a misty figure rose from the water, a ethereal woman with eyes like storm clouds. "You have awakened the river's wrath," she intoned, her voice echoing through the mangroves. And so begins our tale of envy, redemption, and the unbreakable bonds of family. Nneka didn't drown that day. Instead, the river spirits carried her to an underwater realm, a hidden world of crystal caves and glowing fish, where she was transformed. But back on land, Ada and Chika returned home, their faces pale, weaving lies about an accident. The community mourned, but suspicion lingered. Days turned to weeks, and guilt gnawed at them like termites on wood. As the sun set over Port Harcourt's skyline, mixing. Chika meanwhile threw herself into city life, visiting night markets and chatting with friends. But her laughter rang hollow. One evening, a stranger arrived in town, a tall man named Hobie, with a kind smile and stories from Abuja. He asked about the missing sister, stirring old wounds. Ada snapped at him, but Chika saw opportunity. She was beautiful but clumsy, Chika lied, her heart pounding. Deep dive into psychological turmoil. Ada's breakdowns, Chika's failed romances, introduce a subplot like a community search party, police involvement making it realistic, emotional scenes of mother crying, father distant, entertaining twists with mistaken sightings of Nneka, CTA. Hey, if this emotional roller coaster has you hooked, smash that subscribe button. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the comments. Beneath the Bonny River, Nneka awoke in a palace of pearls. The spirit queen, Hesine, revealed the truth. Your sister's envy has cast them. You must choose revenge or forgiveness. Nneka, ever kind, learned magic, befriending river creatures. Describe fantastical elements realistically blended. Glowing algae as lights, fish as messengers. Nneka's training montages, emotional reflections on betrayal, entertaining adventures like escaping river monsters. Back above, rumors spread. A fisherman claimed to see a woman in the water. Ada and Chika argued fiercely. We had no choice, Ada cried. Chika retorted she had everything. Drama peaks with confrontations, realistic police interrogations, emotional family therapy sessions in modern setting. Loving the suspense? Subscribe now for more tales. Where's your corner of the world? Nneka emerged from the river, changed, more beautiful, with the horror of power. She hid in the city, watching her sisters. Nneka helped strangers, build alliances, dramatic encounters. Ada spots Nneka in the market. Panic ensues. Chika denies it, but guilt cracks them. Flashbacks reveal childhood envies. Nneka confronts them privately. If this hits home, subscribe. Share where you're watching. Spirits summon all to the riverbank for judgment. Ada chooses atonement, helping the community. Chika resists, leading to conflict. Sisters reunite, forgiving. Modern therapy helps. They start a business together in Port Harcourt. Spirits bless them. Community thrives. Years had passed since the river's whisper had sealed the sisters' redemption. Port Harcourt had grown even more vibrant, its streets now lined with sleek high-rises, piercing the sky alongside the enduring mangroves that hugged the Bonny River. The oil boom had brought prosperity to some, but for Nneka, Ada and Chika, their shared business, a chain of eco-friendly provision stores specializing in local herbs and organic goods, had become a symbol of unity in the high community. They called it River's Grace, a nod to the spirits that had spared them whole. Nneka, with her ethereal glow that never quite faded, managed the flagship store near the waterfront, where tourists and locals alike flocked to hear her soft-spoken wisdom on natural remedies. But life, as it often does, carried Nneka forward on new currents. It was during one of those bustling market days, when the air was thick with the aroma of grilled plantains and the chatter of hagglers, that she first met Emeka. He was 28, a rising star in the oil industry, having returned from studies in London with a degree in engineering and a vision to make Port Harcourt's energy sector sustainable. Emeka was the kind of man who turned heads, not just for his chiseled jawline, broad shoulders, and warm brown eyes that sparkled like the river under sunlight, but for his quiet confidence. Dressed in a crisp white shirt tucked into tailored trousers, he stood out amid the colorful rappers and dashikis of the market crowd. His family was owed money from the Niger Delta, owners of several rigs, but Emeka had chosen to forge his own path, investing in green tech startups. Nneka was arranging bundles of fresh moringa leaves when he approached her stall. "Excuse me, miss," he said, his voice smooth like polished mahogany. "I've heard your store has the best natural boosters for energy. Long days at the office, you know." She looked up, and for a moment, the world around them blurred. His smile was genuine, not the flashy grins of the suitors who chased her before her river ordeal. "Try this," she replied, handing him a sachet of blended herbs. "It's from the river's edge, pure and revitalizing." Their fingers brushed, and in that instant, Nneka felt a spark, not of magic, but of something profoundly human. Emeka became a regular. At first, it was just quick stops for herbs, but soon, conversations stretched into the afternoon. He shared stories of his time abroad, the loneliness of city lights in London, and his dreams of building solar-powered communities in the Delta. Nneka opened up about her love for the land, the healing properties of plants, and subtly the scars of her past, though she held back the full tale of betrayal. "Life has a way of washing away the bad," she said one day, as they walked along the riverbank after closing time. The sun dipped low, painting the water in hues of orange and gold. Emeka stopped, turning to her. "I'm bringing in the good," he added, his eyes locking with hers. That evening, under the watchful gaze of the mangroves, he asked her to dinner. Their courtship was a whirlwind of romance blended with the everyday grit of Port Harcourt life. Dates at seaside restaurants where they savored pepper soup and fresh fish. Drives through the city's traffic-clogged roads in his sleek SUV, laughing about the potholes that built character. Emeka introduced her to his family, a boisterous, clan with a sprawling estate in GRA Phase 2. His mother, a formidable woman named Chioma, eyed Nneka with initial suspicion. "She's too beautiful," Chioma whispered to her husband. "Beauty brings trouble." But Nneka's kindness won her over. She helped in the kitchen during family gatherings, sharing recipes infused with river herbs that eased Chioma's arthritis. Ada and Chika watched from afar, a mix of joy and lingering guilt in their hearts. "She deserves this," Ada said one night as they closed the store. Chika nodded, her eyes misty. "After what we did, yes." They had mended their bonds, but the shadow of that push into the river lingered, a reminder to cherish what they had rebuilt. Emeka proposed 6 months later on a private boat cruise along the Bonny River. The water was calm, stars twinkling above like scattered diamonds. He knelt, ring in hand, a stunning emerald set in gold, symbolizing growth and renewal. "Nneka, you've brought light to my world. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down her face as she whispered yes, the river seeming to murmur its approval. The wedding was a spectacle, blending tradition and modernity. Held at a luxurious venue overlooking the river, it featured white tents adorned with palm fronds and fairy lights. Nneka wore a flowing gown of ivory silk with intricate beadwork inspired by Igbo motifs, her hair crowned with fresh flowers. Emeka was dashing in a tailored hagbada, his groomsmen, including a few oil tycoons, cheering as they exchanged vows. Ada and Chika served as bridesmaids, their dresses in soft blue, tears of redemption flowing freely. The community turned out in droves. Even the river spirits, or so Nneka felt, blessed the union with a gentle breeze. Married life settled into a rhythm of bliss. They moved into a modern villa in old GRA, with views of the city skyline and a garden where Nneka cultivated her herbs. Emeka's wealth afforded comforts, a live-in chef weekend, getaways to Calabar, but Nneka insisted on keeping her role at River's Grace. "It's my anchor," she told him. He supported her fully, even investing in expanding the business to include online sales, shipping herbal remedies across Nigeria. 2 years into their marriage, joy multiplied with the birth of their first child, a boy named Kamsi, short for Kamsi or Chukwu, meaning "as I asked God." The labor was intense in a private hospital with the best care money could buy. But Nneka's strength shone through, her river-given resilience carrying her. Kamsi arrived with a cry that echoed like a river song, his tiny face clutching at the hair. Emeka held him first, his tough exterior melting as tears welled. "He's perfect," he whispered. 3 years later came their daughter, Amarachi, grace of God. She inherited her mother's luminous skin and her father's bright eyes, a bundle of energy from the start. The family grew, the villa filling with laughter and the pitter-patter of little feet. Nneka balanced motherhood with her work, teaching her children about the world through stories and play. Emeka, often away on business trips to Abuja or Lagos, made sure to video call every night, reading bedtime stories from hotel rooms. As the children grew, Kamsi turning 7, Amarachi 4, Nneka felt the time was right to share her past. It was a quiet evening. The family gathered in the living room after dinner. The air conditioner hummed softly, rain pattering against the windows in a typical Port Harcourt downpour. Emeka was away on a conference, so it was just the three of them, curled up on the plush sofa with mugs of warm herbal tea. "Mommy, tell us a story," Kamsi begged, his eyes wide with anticipation. Amarachi nodded vigorously, clutching her stuffed river otter toy, her gift from the store. Nneka smiled, but her expression turned serious. "All right, my loves, but this isn't just any story. It's Mommy's story from long ago, and it teaches us important lessons about family, envy, and forgiveness." She took a deep breath, the memories flooding back like the river's tide. Once upon a time, in this very city of Port Harcourt, there were 3 sisters, Ada, Chika, and me, your mommy Nneka. We grew up in a small bungalow helping our parents with chores. I was the youngest, and people said I was beautiful, but beauty isn't everything. My sisters worked hard, but sometimes they felt jealous because I got more attention from neighbors, from boys, even from our parents who protected me more. Kamsi frowned. "Jealous? Like when I won Hama's toy." "Exactly," Nneka said, stroking his hair. "Envy is a sneaky feeling. It starts small, like a whisper, but if you let it grow, it can make you do bad things." One morning, we went to the Bonny River to fetch water. The path was misty, the birds quiet. As I bent down to fill my bucket, my sisters, they pushed me into the water. Amarachi. gasped, her little hands covering her mouth. Auntie Ada and Auntie Chika, but they're nice. They are now, my dear. But back then, envy clouded their hearts. I screamed, sisters, why? The river pulled me under cold and dark. I thought it was the end. But the river wasn't just water, it had spirits, guardians of the wronged. They saved me, took me to an underwater world of crystal caves and glowing fish. There, the spirit queen Hesine taught me magic and strength. She said my sister's act had caused them with guilt, and I had to choose revenge or forgiveness. Kamsi leaned forward. What did you choose, mommy? Forgiveness, Kamsi, because holding anger hurts you more than anyone else. I returned to the surface, changed, stronger, wiser. I watched my sisters suffer from their guilt. They lied about an accident, but the community whispered. Eventually, I confronted them. There were tears, shouts, but also healing. The spirits called us to the riverbank for a trial. Ada and Chika faced their fears, visions of drowning in envy. They chose redemption, helping others, rebuilding her bond. Amarachi tilted her head. And then you met Daddy? Nneka laughed softly. Yes, after we started our store, your daddy came for herbs, and love bloomed like flowers after rain. We married, and God blessed us with you too. The children sat in silence, processing. Kamsi spoke first. So, lesson 1, don't be envious. Share and be happy for others. Right, Nneka affirmed. Envy steals joy. Instead, celebrate successes. If your sister gets a new toy, be glad for her. It doesn't take from you. Amarachi added, and forgive like you did. Forgiveness isn't easy, but it's freeing. It doesn't mean forgetting. It means not letting hurt control you. And family, blood or chosen, is precious. Talk about feelings. Don't let them fester. They discussed more, Nneka weaving in everyday examples. If a friend does better in school, don't push them away. Learn from them. She hugged them tight. Promise, mommy, always choose kindness over envy. We promise, they chorused. As the rain eased, Nneka tucked them in, hearts full. Emeka called later, and she shared the moment. They need to know to grow right. In the years that followed, the family thrived. Kamsi excelled in school, dreaming of engineering like his father, while Amarachi showed artistic flair, painting river scenes. Nneka and Emeka had a third child, a girl named Chioma, God's goodness, completing their circle. The sisters' business expanded to branches in Abuja and Lagos, employing locals and promoting sustainability. Ada found love with a quiet accountant, Chika with a vibrant entrepreneur. Their families intertwined in holidays and celebrations. Nneka often reflected by the river, thanking the spirits. Her life was a testament, from betrayal's depths to love's heights, with lessons passed on. Expanding the narrative, detailed scenes of courtship, romantic dinners, family introductions, conflicts like Emeka's work, stress resolved emotionally, wedding preparations, dress fittings, cultural dances, emotional toasts from sisters, pregnancy journeys, morning sickness, ultrasounds, baby showers, birth stories, hospital drama, first holds, daily family life, school runs, picnics, teaching moments, children's growth, milestones, sibling rivalries resolved with story lessons, business successes, launches, challenges like economic dips overcome, emotional depth, Nneka's occasional nightmares, healed through therapy and family, entertaining elements, humorous mishaps like Emeka's failed cooking attempts, kids' antics, realistic Nigerian touches, traffic jams, power outages, festivals like Christmas in Port Harcourt. Hey everyone, did you enjoy this story? What was your favorite part? The romantic proposal, the emotional storytelling to the kids, or the happy family moments? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt Nigerian tales with modern twists. Your support means the world.